Jhumpa Lahiri, a renowned author, was born in London to Indian parents, but now lives in the United States. Her parents emigrated to India when she was little. Reviewers and readers alike have praised her novels, The Namesake and The Interpreter of Maladies. So much so that the President Obama had appointed her to the committee he created to promote the arts and humanities in the federal government. Both of these novels have been recognized as best in their respective categories. She was born to an Indian mother from Bengal on July 11, 1967 in London. Her dad was a Brit after escaping from Bengal, India. Her dad eventually settled in the Midwest. He was just 2 years old when her family made the journey to the United States from their native country. Early years in Kingston, Rhode Island suggested she is more inclined to consider herself an American than a British citizen. Her father, a librarian at the University of Rhode Island, was the inspiration for the protagonist of her story, The Third and Final Continent, which she wrote with her mother. She was the one who made sure the family stayed connected to their Bengali heritage by making regular trips to see friends and family in Kolkata. The main character of The Third and Final Continent, Lahiri, struggled to accept her Indian origins. She completed her junior and senior years at South Kingstown High. She excelled academically while studying English literature at Barnard College. She attended Boston University after graduating high school, where she earned a number of degrees. She has earned a master's degree in comparative literature and creative writing in addition to her Ph.D. in Renaissance studies. Following her fellowship at the Fine Arts Work Center, she started a teaching career at both the Rhode Island School of Design and the Boston University. Academics and writing took up a large portion of Lahiri's adult life. She was kept pretty busy with these two pursuits. When she first began putting her work out for publication, she was met with a number of rejection letters. It was a compilation of short tales first published in 1999 under the title Interpreter of Maladies. There is a unifying element to the pieces collected here, that is the difficulties experienced by Indians living in different nations. Marriage and family problems, infertility, and communication barriers between second-generation Americans and their immigrant parents as some of her primary research interests. The natives were not awed by her collection as the Americans had been. Many in India felt her books presented untrustworthy characters and gave an unfair representation of Indian culture. She was called a distant author since she created India and its people in her head rather than visiting the country herself, and she did it while lacking skills in writing, geography, or anthropology. Despite her short story collection being poorly received in her own country of India, she won the Pulitzer Prize for fiction in 2000. Even if her collection had been published there before, it didn't matter. Her debut book, The Namesake, was out in 2003. Lahiri discussed not just the generational but also the cultural divide that is widening. The life and times of an Indian family that immigrated to and established themselves in the United States. The film adaptation, which Mira Nair will helm, might premiere in 2007. This is Jhumpa Lahiri's second collection of short tales. And you may be able to find her writings, the novel The Long Way Home and the instructional cookbook Cooking Lessons, are just two examples of the numerous titles presented, which also include works of non-fiction. Lahiri's involvement with the PEN American Center has allowed her to promote the work of her fellow authors. Her book, The Lowland, published in 2003, made the shortlist for the Man Booker Prize in the National Book Awards for Fiction.